As the battle for mid-range dominance continues, every smartphone brand is trying to up the stakes with either performance, imaging, battery life or design, often a combination of all of them. But which one is the best of them all? Joining the competition this week is the latest OnePlus Nord 2T. Does it have what it takes to compete against the best of the best? We pit the Nord 2T against the Poco F4 and Mi 11X, some of the best phones in the segment, to find out. Looks matter and it all starts with the design. All three phones make use of Gorilla Glass 5 back, but the look and feel differs quite a bit. Both the Nord 2T and Mi 11X offer a more curved and ergonomic feel, while the Poco F4 stands out for its minimalistic look. But the differences become a bit more obvious at the front. To start with, both the Poco F4 and Xiaomi Mi 11X pull ahead of the OnePlus Nord 2T with their displays. Both phones have a larger 6.67-inch screen compared to the 6.43-inch panel on the Nord 2T. Moreover, both phones have a 120Hz refresh rate as well as support for Dolby Vision and a peak brightness level of over 1300 nits. Suffice to say, the Poco F4 and Mi 11X win this round for their extremely vibrant and bright panels. But that's not it. The differences continue over to useful additions like an IP rating. The IP53 rating on the Poco F4 ensures that it pulls ahead of the competition and stays cool and dry even under a shower. If you're buying a premium phone, you know you want performance. Here's where things get interesting. While the Nord 2T introduces the latest MediaTek Dimensity 1300 chipset, both the Poco F4 and Xiaomi Mi 11X make do with the older but still powerful Snapdragon 870 chipset. Real-world performance for all three processors is on par, though the excellent GPU performance of the Snapdragon 870 guarantees more reliable frame rates in games. Similarly, on the battery life front, all three phones are equally powerful with 4500 mAh cells, ensuring a full day of use. However, differences lie in charging speeds. The Mi 11X with its 33-watt charging just can't keep up with the other two phones. While the Nord 2T has the fastest speeds here with 80-watt support, the Poco F4 is just a minute or two behind with 67-watt charging. And finally, let's talk about cameras. All three phones have a combination of three different sensors. There's a 48 megapixel primary camera on the Nord 2T, a 64 megapixel sensor on the Poco F4, and a 48 megapixel shooter on the Mi 11X. The camera on the Mi 11X was no slouch when it launched, but it lacks the sheer resolution of the other two cameras on our list. Both the Nord 2T and Poco F4 excel at outdoor photography and manage to capture contrast-rich shots. There are a few differences in how the phones approach imaging, and the Nord 2T has a tendency to crush shadows a bit, which is an issue common to OnePlus phones. On the ultra-wide front, all three phones are a bit lackluster and the 8 megapixel resolution does them no favors. Finally, while the depth sensor of the Nord 2T doesn't really do too much, the Poco F4 replaces it with a 2 megapixel macro camera. The star of the show, however, is the 5 megapixel telemark shooter on the Mi 11X that manages to capture phenomenal close-ups. If that's what you prefer to choose, that's really just one choice. All in all, the three phones prove that there is no such thing as a bad phone. However, both the Poco F4 and the Nord 2T pull ahead of the Mi 11X by offering a slightly better, more modern package. Our pick would be the Poco F4 for its better display, IP rating and slightly better camera. But if you prefer the cleaner interface of the Nord 2T, you can't go wrong with that either.